Kimberly Dvorak. Kimberly, I believe fully that this refugee crisis, I put it in quotes, is fully orchestrated. It's an invasion. What better cover for a terrorist to infuse himself into maybe real refugees to infiltrate Western countries? I think that Europe and the United States are insane to accept these people.
Yeah, well, it was interesting to see the White House was worried about the immunizations. They don't seem to be worried too much about that with our southern borders, but if they think that's the biggest of the problems with the refugees coming to the United States or Western Europe, they're kidding themselves. There's no real measures. These people have fled without identification, and I've talked to several people inside State Department and other agencies that would have to approve these folks coming into this country. There's no way to vet them. There is no way to properly vet them, so we really will not know literally who's here.
Okay, but isn't there a big picture solution here, at least in the short term, in the Middle East? I mean, we have this country called Saudi Arabia. They're flush with oil money, and they should be able to accept these people. And when the Prime Minister of Hungary says no more, let's turn them around, send them back home, I think he's correct. I don't know how they got as far as Hungary, to be honest with you. And these leaders of the European Union, it's as if they're on a death wish for all of Europe. I mean, you look at this big picture, and I think that there is a short-term solution. I think it lies in Saudi Arabia, and the big picture is kill the killers. End this war. At least take care of this aspect of radical Islam. Wouldn't you agree?
Yeah, I'd like to, I agree with everything you just said there. I just think that, the United States and most people here, they don't really realize that China has come out and said, we will take zero. Russia has come out and said, we will take zero. We're arming Saudi Arabia, Israel, Qatar, Bahrain, all of the countries over there, we're giving them all of these weapons through our foreign military sales program, and they're not going to take any. Israel will take zero refugees, and yet these people are flocking out of these regions because basically their countries have been decimated. There's nothing for them to go home to in Syria. It's flattened.
You're looking at the reason why any country on the face of the planet needs a border, and it's happening right now in Hungary. Now, you mentioned Russia. I want to shift gears and look at the war in Syria, and now Russia's role in the war in Syria, which is a complete and total strategic, military, and political slap in the face of Barack Obama and his administration. But at the same time, it's 100% predictable, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. I mean, it is predictable. The United States missed those 30,000 troops headed down to Crimea just after the Olympics, and it seems like they were caught off guard by Vladimir Putin putting, reinforcing his military base that he has in Syria. They're doing wargaming operations right now. They've got 5 anti-aircraft missile carriers right now in the Mediterranean Sea running war games. They have installed, they've brought down some tanks. They're putting out anti-aircraft missiles. Now, we don't think ISIS is really flying planes, so who's going to be flying those planes that require the anti-aircraft missiles out there? And the conclusion is those are allied forces that will be flying those planes, and I believe what they're doing is, shoring up Bashar al-Assad's, what's left of the country under his rule.
Right. And so do you have any doubt that the Russian troops are going to engage the enemy, and that would be the terrorists?
Well, you know what? They want to fight ISIS, and it just seems that this administration is hell-bent on fighting anybody who wants to fight ISIS. We've gone after the Kurds. We're going after Bashar. I mean, Assad's a bad guy. We all agree with that. But 6 years ago, he was that country was a thriving, kind of democracy, but at least people were able to go to the movies and go to McDonald's and go to college and things like that. Now it's a complete war zone, and ISIS is in they're close to taking over Syria, and Iran feeds into that. They see that, and they're going to actually help Russia, and they're going to solidify their bases there, and they're going to try to push back. And this administration has zero plans. Nobody has come up with a plan on how to actually follow through and defeat this, and what it's going to take for America to go to war. This isn't just this administration. The prior 2 administrations has also let this fester, and the hearts and minds tactic that Petraeus put in there is not working. These people do not want American-style democracy. democracy. And the United States and the American citizens here, before it comes home to these shores, really need to start asking their lawmakers, what are we doing?
Right.
What is our plan?
Well, and it's clear that Vladimir Putin is protecting his naval base or his air base in western Syria, correct?
Absolutely. It's a warm water port. They want to, keep that there. It's actually expanding a little bit more on the Russian reach throughout the region. But, I mean, at the same time, they're also saying they want to get rid of ISIS. So
right.
why?
Well, let's face it. The bottom line is Vladimir Putin is doing what Barack Obama should be doing, and that is joining forces with Bashar al-Assad, who's not a nice guy, but he's better than ISIS, to wipe out the terrorists. It's just that simple. Came out of time.
Okay.
Thanks. Coming up next.